Welcome back to the Share Your Screen podcast. My name is Nikki.
I'm Coco.
And this is episode 4. This was a controversy that happened this week. And honestly, I did not even know of this creator prior to this happening. However, specifically this instance was so captivating to me because I think it is a symptom of a larger problem about the internet.
Okay.
So the controversy is this creator named Sniperwolf. Sniperwolf is a React content creator. So people who react to other videos that people make online. And this is why I think that the entire React genre is a very slippery slope in terms of whether what you're doing is legal or not. And this creator has received tons of criticism, and we're about to dive into exactly why and what they did wrong. Just watching the content is not transformative.
Right.
And this specifically is where she gets a lot of criticism. I'm about to play a few videos on the screen. She literally just narrates what's happening.
It is running sideways. What? Wow. Oh, it looks like a cartoon.
Wow.
So literally, it is her taking a video, not crediting the creator, not adding the creator, putting it into a longer monetized content, not transforming it, and stealing both the monetization potential and the views from the original creator. And some of these video examples really infuriated me. There was one where it's literally somebody taking the tip of a pencil and using a tiny needle to carve art into the tip of a pencil. To see somebody getting millions of dollars a year, and the person who actually has the talent and the artistic capability to carve a sculpture into the tip of a pencil make zero.
Yeah.
Stuff like that is really when I got infuriated. I really, that's when I really got angry. However, throughout all of this too, I think it's, again, really try and think about, is it what this creator specifically is doing wrong? Or is the entirety of taking other people's content that is not monetized, then putting it on your account and reacting to it where it is monetized, ethical, and legal? Okay. So this all started from a video from a creator named Jacksfilms. And he has been a YouTuber since 2006. He is an OG YouTuber. I remember seeing his videos. And his video was Let's Talk About Sniperwolf. Sniperwolf is a female content creator. She has been on the internet for 10 years, and she started as a gaming creator. However, in the past 4 years or so, has gotten into this React style of content. She now has almost 34 million subscribers. So she is huge. The top 1% of the top 1% of YouTube, and gets over 200 million views a month.
Whoa.
With an estimated monthly earnings of anywhere from roughly $100,000 to $800,000 and an estimated yearly earnings of anywhere from about $1 million to $10 million just in AdSense. So that's not counting brand deals, that's not counting merch, that's not counting speaking panels, AdSense alone. And again, you can look, she posts daily, which is another thing. If you're a YouTuber with 34 million subscribers and you're able to post daily, maybe it's because the content is a little bit low-hanging fruit. Yeah. And we'll get into that. Let's dive into who is Sniperwolf and the history of her specifically.
Okay.
So Sniperwolf, like I said, is a YouTuber that has amassed over 33 million subscribers. She posts daily React content to TikToks that have already gone viral. One video can include anywhere from 15 to 20 TikToks. And this is really where what she does specifically is wrong. Over 50% of the videos, she removes the watermarks of the creator's handle and never links their socials in the caption.
Yikes.
She does not ever ask for permission. Most creators didn't even know their content was being used without permission. And even if they were, an entire myth of the entertainment industry is the word exposure.
I agree.
In what universe is somebody going to watch this video, have already seen the TikTok in its entirety, and be like, let me go out of my way to pull out my phone to search up this handle to watch a video I've just watched?
Yeah.
Right? Like it will never happen.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I believe, like, I knew her before this. She was a gamer and then was kind of associated with, like, the Rice Gum era for a little bit. And I think that it's also proof that, like, creators like this are really good at being chameleons, and they figure out what's making the most money at the time and start doing that. And it's so clear that, like, reaction content is what YouTube is rewarding right now, for better or for worse.
Oh, yeah. It's really hard to be on YouTube for a decade or more unless you evolve with the platform.
Yes.
Because the things that were popular in 2008 YouTube are cancelable in 2023.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it is sometimes for good that creators evolve with the platform and mature. However, it is like what you're saying, this chameleon aspect can come at the cost of others. Also, all of the information I just listed is from Jacksfilms video. I highly, highly encourage you all to go and watch this video. We can link it in the description. It is such a well-researched analysis. We're going to dive even deeper too into some things that he didn't talk about. Going back to the origins of Sniperwolf. What's really crazy about this is, like, she was a very successful gaming creator. The earliest videos on the platform have over 1 million views. She had even gotten into things like vlog content or just, like, generalized, you know, more things about her life. Like her making a video about getting a new dog got 13 million views. Like, it's very clear that she is capable of being a actual creator. So I don't think I'm entirely hating on her ability as a creator, and to say that she has no talent at all, I think is an incorrect statement, because I think she's proven that she's able to get tens of millions of views as a YouTuber without this, which is also another reason that makes it sad to me. Why would she do this? And around 2020 is when things start to go wrong. This is really the origin of TikTok. And this is where we start to get into fair use law, which is the legal term for if something is subject to being either sued for or demonetized or deplatformed because it violates copyright law. Fair use, by definition, implies that it has to be transformative content. Pulling an example from Stanford Library, in its most general sense, fair use is any copying of copyright material done for a limited and transformative purpose, such as to comment upon, criticize, or parody a copyrighted work. However, the key word in this being transformative. She originally started with this, like, I tested viral TikTok life hacks to see if they work type thing, which was very, very popular. I think especially right when TikTok had started, I felt like people really turned to YouTube to, like, demystify, like, what is this new platform? Like, I even remember when I was in college and stuff, people were like, have you heard of the new Vine? And, you know, like, people talking about TikTok, like, it was really like people were kind of trying to determine what this is, also because it had just changed from Musical.ly and they were going away from what Musical.ly was. And this is totally legal because this is transformative content. So, right, like in this video, she watches a hack on TikTok and for, 15 seconds or whatever, and then goes, buys the things, tests it, and does it herself to see if it works. That is totally legal and totally fair because it's actually adding a value of education to the audience, right? Like, is this thing that people are claiming to work on the internet real? Because so often you see things on the internet that are just BS and made up for views. So I actually think that this is fine. And this was a really popular format. Like, I tested viral TikTok blanks is totally fine. When she was doing this, she was getting 50 million views on some videos. Oh, wow. Granted, this was YouTube 3 years ago when it was a lot easier to get that high of views. However, again, like it proves that she is successful and able to do this. However, about a year or so after that, she starts to water it down to less of the trying and more of just the reactions. So this is, instead of doing like, I watched 3 TikToks in this video that take maybe a minute of the entire video, and the remaining 14 videos are her actually physically taking an action, using her personality to entertain the audience, having an actual production where it's like edited, things are happening. You know what I mean? That's great. That's totally fine.
Yeah. And well, I'm such a proponent for like smaller creators, and I feel like I get upset because if someone as big as her is able to get away with doing something like that, like, and cutting corners, the little guys are never gonna win. Like,
Never.
The big
And
creators stay on top by putting others down like that.
exactly. And the little guys don't have the money, the resources, or the time to protect themselves from things like
and
this.
she's probably, in my opinion, purposely not reaching out to these people because she is banking on the fact that she's putting out so many of these videos every single day that the TikTok creators are not going to even notice that their video was used in a Sniperwolf YouTube.
Absolutely. And I think it's actually very explicitly because she doesn't want them to try and file a copyright claim against her channel. And you have to realize, too, if that's 15 to 20 TikToks a video, that's an average of, 140 stolen pieces of content a week?
Yeah.
Not to mention that she could be cutting them down for Reels or TikToks or Shorts, all of that stuff herself, too. And this brings me to, like, okay, if this isn't okay, then what is okay? Like, what by law is the definition of fair use? So this is where I really went down the freaking rabbit hole.
Okay.
And I got this source from the U.S. Copyright Office, Section 107 of the Copyright Act. Like, I went deep and I read it. And there are 4 key components that judges use when they are brought a trial to determine if something violates copyright law and or whether or not it is fair use. First, purpose for character of use. Whether the use is of a commercial nature or for nonprofit educational purposes. So, for example, an example of nonprofit educational purposes where someone could be using copyrighted work is like your high school winter musical singing All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey, right?
Okay.
They're not monetizing it. It's not for commercial use. It's for a nonprofit educational purpose. It's something that's going to get the kids excited. It's going to teach them about music. They get to practice it. They get to rehearse it, right? Like Mariah Carey cannot sue a local high school for that. This, however, reaction style content is, although not commercial in nature, is monetized. There are ads placed on the video, right? Like it's
passive
so
monetized.
it just toes this line of like, well, they're not actually putting it into an advertisement, but they are making a video that has an advertisement slapped in front of it.
Yeah.
So, and a big theme of this entire PowerPoint and why I want to talk about this is that the law was not designed to protect people on the internet. Many of these laws surrounded around copyrights were designed specifically for things like movie, radio, television, music. And the internet moves at a much faster pace than our legal system ever has or ever will. So number 2 is the nature of the copyrighted work. The degree to which the work was used relates to the purpose of encouraging creative expression. So a good example of something that would pacify this term would be like a cover of a song. You know, like you've seen artists that tour randomly, they'll like sing a random Taylor Swift song or a random Maroon 5 song. It's just like a surprise for the audience, and it's just their own creative expression. It's also generally not something they're allowed to advertise, right? They're not allowed to be like, I'm singing all these I'm going to do Taylor Swift's entire album. Like that would be theft.
Yeah.
But when it's doing something of their own creative interpretation, their own artistic interpretation of an existing piece of copyrighted media, that is okay.
Okay.
Number 3, amount and substantiality of the portion used in relation to the copyrighted work as a whole. This is really the big one for me.
Okay.
Because under this factor, courts look at both the quantity and quality of the copyrighted material that was used. If the use includes a large portion of the copyrighted work, fair use is less likely to be found. So this is a really great example of when React content can be okay and also not legally okay. So an example of when it would be okay is when somebody watches a 2-hour movie and then uses a few clips of that movie in their 15-minute reaction or criticism or summary or parody of the plot. Right? That is fine because you're taking, let's say it's a 15-minute video. Let's say half of it is clips. It goes clip reaction and the other 7 minutes are reaction. That 7 minutes of content cannot take away from the entire 2-hour production, right?
Yeah.
It's honestly even more adjacent to a trailer. Like it probably actually incentivizes people to go out and watch the piece in its entirety because they're like, oh, wow, I saw those clips. I really enjoyed those clips. You're telling me there's another 2 hours of this I can go and watch. Like I should go find that. Where I have beef is when people do this type of content with TikToks specifically.
I know.
Because TikToks by nature are designed to be short form content. So there is no universe in which you doing a 15-second reaction to a 15-second video is okay, right? You're 100% of the time, you are taking the entirety of the content, which means that there is no reason for another person to go out and seek that content, right? It is blatantly like, I'm going to take this and I'm going to get the views from it. I'm going to take this person's hard work. I'm going to get the views from it. I'm going to get the monetary benefits from it. I'm going to get the subscribers for it. I think this is why React content to TikToks and short form content specifically is so wrong. I think React content can be done well, can be done legally, and can be done in a really entertaining and educational way, as we'll dive into later in this deck that I built. But with TikToks specifically, there is just almost no way in which you can do this right.
Right.
And number 4 is effect of the use upon the potential market for or value of the copyrighted work. Courts review to what extent the unlicensed use harms the existing or future market for the copyright owner's original work. So courts consider whether the use is hurting the current market for the original work. For example, by displacing sales of the original. So like if you make a bootleg of somebody's album and sell it, that is taking away from the sales of the original. So that's not okay. But again, this is another example of when I don't think these laws were written or defined or understood by people who are online, right? Because while you're not taking away sales of a product per se, you are taking away millions of views. And those millions of views translate to impressions on a pre-roll ad, which is monetizable. They translate to building a following or building a community, which is also monetizable. And the law, by definition of what I've read, like, does not account for that. You know what I mean? Because it's not technically taking away from the market, not technically taking away from sales or streams or box office tickets or DVD sales, right? Like, you can tell that this law is really written for media as it was 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, but doesn't protect people on the internet, although the results of violating this copyright law really are the same. So, after all this, there are really 3 main pieces of criticism to this take about is what Sniperwolf is doing wrong, and is reaction content in itself wrong. The first is, why is Sniperwolf the only one receiving this level of criticism? Isn't React content an entire genre on YouTube? You're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Number 2, if this is such a big problem, why hasn't YouTube done anything about it? And number 3, can't they just file a copyright claim, get the money themselves, and be done with it? 3 very great points, and I want to address them all individually. So number 1, why is Sniperwolf the only one receiving this criticism? This really started when this year at 2023 VidCon, she was a featured creator on a YouTube panel where they highlighted her. And it was really the tweets from the official YouTube creator's account that got people upset. The first is when, like, well, let me tell you, nothing good has ever started on Twitter.
No, I've never heard of any positive thing being the result of Twitter.
Literally.
Ever.
Literally never, not once.
Never.
So the first tweet was, where does Sniperwolf get her video ideas? From her fans. Here's what she had to say at VidCon 2023 Anaheim. It's really important for me to engage with my audience. I get a lot of content ideas from them in the comments. It's important to grow and adapt as a creator. And this is when people got upset. They were like, people in the comments of you saying, yeah, go and steal another video. Or, hey, here's a video I found on TikTok that got 40 million views. Can you download it, remove the watermark, not credit the creator, and monetize it? Like, that is so blatantly ridiculous. Obviously, she just scrolls on TikTok and finds viral videos and downloads them. Right?
There's even websites you can go on that tell you what, like, the top 20 trending videos that day are on the algorithm.
See?
And I'm sure there's someone using something like that. Wait, is this a real tweet from YouTube that said, I really want to know how Sniperwolf finds all the videos to react to?
That is a real tweet from the verified
So now that
YouTube
incriminates,
account.
in my opinion, incriminates YouTube in that they know that she's reacting to videos. Like, I think YouTube loves being like, we didn't know this was happening.
Oh, yeah. I think
we're just a baby.
YouTube has a big part to play in this. And I have a whole slide on like where I think YouTube as a platform is going wrong by enabling this. And the criticism that also, you know, spawned from this was like really analyzing her content, people like taking clips from her videos and like replying with them or making their own videos about them, being like, this is not transformative. However, the one point that she has brought up and I think is valid, is I do find it strange that the one person receiving the most criticism in this entire genre of content is a large female creator.
I agree.
Which brings me to my next slide.
Because I would say you have the entire React channel that pioneered this, and they even tried to trademark the word React. So, like, no human ever can have a reaction online again and monetize it. But
yeah, like, I want to try and play this video. I'm not going to look at people and say that what she's doing isn't transformative or wrong.
Yeah.
But I, upon a quick YouTube search, could find 15 videos from male creators of various channels doing the exact same thing. This one, my favorite, being from Mr. Beast Reacts, where they're reacting to trick shots.
What? How did they think of that?
They timed that perfectly.
That was incredible.
He threw the ball, he threw the paper, the ball hit the scissors cut the paper.
Is literally just repeating what he's doing. Like the guy throws a paper airplane, he goes, oh, he threw the airplane, then he threw the basketball, oh, then it cut the airplane. Like,
I can't.
And also, this video got 14 million views 3 months ago, which is more than Sniperwolf is getting per video. She gets about 1 to 2 million views nowadays.
Yeah.
So this is where I think two people can be right and two people can be wrong at the same time.
Okay.
They are both wrong for doing this. In my opinion, neither one of them should be doing this. They should not be taking the work of people who spent hours doing this thing over and over and over and over to get this trick shot so they can finally post it on YouTube and TikTok and get the followers themselves, you know, because that's what they want to do. They want to build a community that way. And it took Mr. Beast Reacts and the people who work at Mr. Beast Reacts 10 seconds to find that video, cut it down, add nothing transformative to it, and get 14 million views.
I swear some of these React channels just read like the top 3 comments on a TikTok and then like script it in. They're just
literally. And one important note I would like to say is at least Mr. Beast Reacts puts the credits to all the videos in the description.
Okay, good.
He at least does that. I don't know if he reaches out for permission or not prior. I couldn't figure that out. Me, either way, it's still wrong. I think neither of them should be doing this.
Yeah.
Like, that's really the level. But I do want to highlight that because I think that this is a blatant example of misogyny on the internet.
Yeah.
That people are really eager to criticize a successful woman making easy money.
Yeah.
You know, like another thing that I always think about too is, do you know how many times I have seen female OnlyFans creators get slut shamed? And do you know how many times I've ever seen someone call Harry Jealousy a slut?
Right.
Never.
Never,
not once. You know what I mean? They're doing the exact same thing. Yeah. She did tweet about this, that she felt it was misogynistic. And I'm like, yeah, it is. But that doesn't make their points they're making and the criticism of you completely invalid.
Right. I agree. I think that it can apply. And like, I want to say that I do think online, like male creators or celebrities are given a lot more elasticity, I think, to make some mistakes.
Elasticity is a perfect word to describe.
Yeah. Whereas like women or female creators are, it's more likely that it'll snap and the public perception will shift quicker than with a male creator.
Absolutely.
And there's more factors, but it is a huge factor to consider for sure.
Yeah, but I do think that's an important thing to address.
Right.
So number 2, why hasn't YouTube done anything about this?
Oh.
Easy question, easy answer. Dollars and cents. The way AdSense works, it's a 50-50 revenue split. If Sniperwolf is making $1 million to $10 million a year, so is YouTube.
Yeah.
If they are getting 216 million views a month, that's over 1 billion views a year for YouTube as a platform. Also, I think that specifically from my perspective, and I'm really interested to hear your perspective as well as someone who has worked at a media company that did a lot of business with both YouTube and TikTok. It is so clear how blatantly they try to compete and are at each other's throats. Like literally almost in meetings. I remember even the first year TikTok came out in some meetings with reps at big platform companies, we were not allowed to say the word TikTok.
Yeah.
They were literally like the other platform, like
the short form video platform.
It was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird. And I think YouTube not only allows this, but incentivizes it because they know that if so-and-so is getting 200 million views reacting to TikToks, that means there's 200 million people who are not going to go watch that video on TikTok.
Yeah, it's almost like Sniperwolf's React videos are a substitute for the For You page for some people. Like, why do they need to go on their For You page on TikTok if Sniperwolf that day is going to upload the 20 most viral videos?
Yep, exactly. They don't make money from somebody watching a TikTok on TikTok. They do make money from somebody watching a TikTok on YouTube.
Yeah.
So that is why YouTube isn't doing anything about it.
I want to say, too, like, what really upsets me, and I didn't know that she was even like a featured creator, and it really lends to this as well. And I don't want to get too much into this because it's dark, but like, it's something that really bugged me with the Colleen Ballinger situation, where if a video has 10 million views and it was on the trending page, you bet your bottom dollar that there was an employee at YouTube who saw that video, who has the power to hit a kill switch on that video, to take it down.
Oh, yeah.
You're telling me someone didn't see a video of Miranda Sings doing some, I don't even want to repeat some of the things she's done. And if that video was on the trending page, there was a YouTube employee who watched her doing something sexually awful and suggestive, in my opinion, with a minor, some as young as 4 years old. And they said, this is not only okay, we are going to reward it. We are going to platform it. We're going to make Miranda Sings the face of VidCon one year. And that's where I get mad, because when these controversies happen and a creator, quote unquote, falls, YouTube gets off scotch-free. And I think that they should have to answer, whether internally or externally. YouTube needs to have to start answering for, why are we not only allowing this behavior, but we are rewarding it time and time again? Because I'm just telling the viewers, if a video has millions of views, there is someone at YouTube who saw it.
Well, did you know the YouTube trending page is literally manual?
Oh, yeah.
Like, they pick that. It's manual. It's not only they have to have watched it for it to be on the trending page.
They had to handpick it and push it up there.
Going to your point about them incentivizing and rewarding people from this, you know who else is a feature creator at VidCon this year? Brent Rivera, who is known for literally stealing not only the plots, not only like the scripts, but like the copy pasting a video. We'll literally Photoshop his face over the body of someone else.
Allegedly a Mr. Beast thumbnail.
Yeah, literally. So like,
well, and also that could be a whole other slideshow, but like the platforms like YouTube allowing, and TikTok has so many problems, but I do think TikTok is a little better at policing certain things. Oh, yeah. Where I've seen some of Brent Rivera's YouTube videos, and it's like weird. Like, and it's clearly like the moment that you pull your saturation up to +50 in your thumbnail, you're appealing to kids. So then why is it like, oh my God, my sister made out with who? Sir.
I know.
What?
And half the times it's him like watching.
Yeah. Yes, like, that's a whole other conversation.
It's a whole other conversation. It's gross.
YouTube holds, I think, like at least a majority of the responsibility.
Right. And it's like they need to be the policing factor.
Yeah.
Because clearly, again, going back, the law was not designed for the internet. And it will take time until the law and lawmakers adapt to the internet.
Yeah.
So what sucks is that it's really on the platforms to police what's on their platform.
And they have the money and resources to protect the little guys.
Oh, yeah.
YouTube has the money and resources to protect Joe Schmo TikToker in Wisconsin who just made a video about, sculpting something in the tip of a pencil and is making zero money. YouTube needs to step up and protect these people. And they're the ones who have the power to stand up for the little guys, but they're not, because again, they're making money.
Absolutely. And going back to your point, I'm not going to say TikTok is perfect.
Right.
But I can think of literally blatant examples with my own content where I posted 2 cut down videos from our podcast.
The same video.
From the same episode.
Yeah.
And the last sentence of the first video was accidentally the same as the first sentence of the second video.
Yeah.
I forgot to edit it out.
A little layering there.
A little layering misstep. My video was demonetized within an hour.
Immediately, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so now we have Sniperwolf doing 20 videos or YouTube videos.
Yeah.
They know. They have the technology to do it. They have the capability to do it. It's a choice.
Yeah. TikTok protected you from yourself.
TikTok protected me from myself.
YouTube can protect Joe Schmo from Sniperwolf.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, which brings us to point number 3.
Okay.
Well, despite all of this, they can just file a copyright claim.
Oh, God.
And it will be fine. In short, no, they can't. If it is a video with multiple TikToks on it, there can only be one copyright claim receiving the money from it.
Wow.
So if Sniperwolf posts 20 TikTok videos, and one of those is mine, and one of those is Coco's, and Nicky files the copyright claim, I get all the money now. So now, instead of Sniperwolf ripping off 19 people, it's Nicky Reardon ripping off 19, or whoever. Like, it's not, and the reason copyright claims worked like that was because, in theory, that works for, like, music, right? Like, if someone uses a song in its entirety or whatever, and then the label who owns that song copyright claims it, they get the money. Bada bing, bada boom. It makes sense, right? And also, you can only file a copyright claim if you actually know about the video and find it. Which, again, is a problem that we're talking about. Like, they're not reaching out to these people. They're intentionally not tagging them. They're intentionally removing their watermarks. I also think so that fans can't find them and tell
let them know.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, number 3, the average person does not have the time, money, or resources to constantly be scanning for this, especially when so often they're like these random videos from like someone who just randomly posted a video of them and their friends where they got this crazy moment and it got 40 million views, but like they're not a creator themselves. That person has no idea that their video got copyright and is being used to make millions of dollars without their consent.
And those are the best types of video. Like I always say, my For You page, the best videos that I love are not, as a verified creator myself, are not always from verified creators or brands.
Oh, yeah.
It's the girl with 10,000 followers that made a video like, you know, talking about some tweet or whatever that I'm so fascinated by. Those are the ones that make the platform
and it's
fun.
It's like when it's so funny that they defied all odds of the algorithm to get it to the For You page.
Those are the best videos.
With that too, I don't even know how much YouTube even cares about a copyright claim from a content creator of another platform.
True. Like
if I were to email YouTube and say, hi, I'm a TikToker, and you use my TikTok video,
it's already in the spam folder.
Do you think a YouTube employee is going to take time out of their day to address that claim? Probably not.
Ooh.
So then, with all of this, I wanted to address like examples of when React's content can be good and operate under fair use, and when it can be bad and not operate under fair use.
Okay.
So going back to this original slide, we have these 2 Sniperwolf examples, right? One where she is physically doing labor. She's physically going out and buying the products. She's physically doing the tests herself versus her just watching somebody do it and say a few words with no additional context.
Okay.
Another video or format that can fall under correct use is like elders react to Eminem.
Yeah.
Because 1, this is not a substitute for the original piece of media, right? Okay. Like if I'm on a road trip and I want to listen to Eminem, I'm not going to go on YouTube and type Elders Reacts to Eminem. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to go to Spotify and I'm going to stream his music or whatever. Another example of bad use is, like I said, this Mr. Beast Reacts video of them taking like a bunch of different trick shot videos and not really adding anything to them, just describing what the trick shot is and going, whoa, whoa.
Oh no,
yeah,
is he gonna make it?
Screaming is not informative. It is not commentary. It is not criticism. It is not parody. It is not educational. Like there's no value.
Oh my gosh, I just had a realization. It's so interesting too because there's like streamers on Twitch that are like famous now and like collab with celebrities that a lot of their content is just them watching like viral music videos or videos and like reacting to it.
Yeah. Then at the bottom here, I wanted to include 2 examples of where this fair use and using clips of content that is copyrighted was fine because it is not a substitute for the entirety of the media.
Okay.
So Danny Gonzalez making a video about, is Netflix just making bad movies on purpose? Ooh. This is what he's reviewing, let's say 5 movies in this 20-minute video. Okay. So let's say a maximum of 3 to 4 minutes worth of clips per video is not a substitute for the original piece of media. And also criticism is allowed. Like it's not just you can only use copyright for a positive view. You can also take the content and be like, I hate this or this is bad, right? That's, you know, copyright under free speech. Also, Cody Ko doing when he did this series about MILF Manor, which was a TV show. Like his episodes were all 15 to 18 minutes where half of it he pauses to react, right? It's not playing while he's reacting. So it's about, let's say 9 minutes of content. And the entirety of the episodes are 40 minutes each, and it's an entire
so
season.
there's no way you could replace the episode with this video.
And this is an example too of like, I would have never heard of this show. It was a random tiny show, and it probably brought a lot of views to it.
Okay.
You know, however, there are things Cody Co does that I think are very illegal uses of
I'm like,
use.
how has the cut or like Jubilee not blocked him yet?
Well, I'm sure that these videos, so the example I have here for podcast listeners is Guy Rates His Exes. It's a Jubilee video, 2.7 million views. I'm sure they filed a copyright claim against him. And I'm sure that probably works because one, they're a big media company.
Yeah.
Two, they're a YouTube company filing a copyright claim against a YouTuber.
Yeah.
So they probably are getting the money from this. However, he gets 2.7 million views. I don't even thousands and thousands of subscribers that build his audience that he then can push to other monetized content. And that's 2.7 million views who have no desire to go and watch this Jubilee video or whatever.
Yeah, because the Jubilee videos aren't even that long.
Exactly. He's making an 18-minute commentary on like a 12-minute video.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's an example of where I think it's wrong.
Yeah.
And also, I wanted to highlight Cody Co specifically as an example here because he is someone who I think is capable of doing it well and does it well on occasion, but also does it in ways that, to my opinion, are both unethical and would be illegal if they weren't internet pieces of media.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've watched a few of his videos on the cut and Jubilee, and then I'm like, wait, why don't I just go watch the original video?
Exactly.
Like, I was watching it being like, oh, he's going to give some great commentary, and he's just like, no, he's not going to say that. Oh, man. I'm like, that's all? That's all you have to say?
And again, that's also, it's not a substitute for it is a substitute for the original piece of the media.
I didn't have to watch the other one.
Yeah, like, why would I go and watch this? I just saw 70% of the video. I know the ending. I know the beginning. You just kind of cut out a few fluff pieces and said a few words. Lastly, this is where I think Jacksfilms went a little bit off the deep end.
Okay.
Was in response to the Sniperwolf thing, he created an entire separate channel where he reacts to Sniperwolf videos.
Jacksfilms.
Reacting to TikToks.
Okay.
And his argument was like, one, I know YouTube won't do this, so like I'm going to do this to bring attention to the issue.
Okay.
And two, if she does it to other people, then me doing it to her should be fine.
But would you say his is parody? I feel like his could fall under the parody.
Yes, but I still think the real victim here is still the people who made those TikToks.
That's so
because now not only is Sniperwolf getting 1 million views for reacting to these TikToks, now Jacksfilms is getting 200K to 500K views
like
from reacting to someone reacting to the TikToks. And I'm like, so you're just perpetuating the use of theft of this content even deeper. Even if you're not the one originally perpetuating the theft, you are adding to this factor that I talked about earlier where it is taking away from market share of that content.
Yeah.
So that's really where I feel like it's not okay. And I think that this is when he, went a little bit too far.
Okay.
What Sniperwolf did is wrong. The solution to that is not to do the same wrong thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There are other ways you can bring awareness to this issue. Which brings me to the conclusion and where I really want to like hammer in the points.
Okay.
Number one, I think it is a great thing to have standards about what you believe is right and wrong, especially on the internet where there is a lack of legal structure. There is a lack of, all structure, truly. Okay. However, it is important to hold everyone to that standard. If you think that what Sniperwolf is doing is wrong, then you need to also think that what a lot of Mr. Beast Reacts is doing is wrong, or what half of Cody Co is doing is wrong too. You don't get to sit on a fence and pick sides based on whether or not you like the content of that person.
Yeah.
I think if it's wrong, and honestly, from my personal opinion, I'll say, I think that React content for things on YouTube and TikTok just shouldn't be done. Like, react to a larger piece of media, react to a documentary, react to, there's so much out there. And you're choosing to take from the little guys, go take from Netflix.
Yeah.
They don't need any more money. Go take from Disney. They don't need any more money.
They have the resources to protect themselves if they think you've crossed a line.
Exactly. And number two is that the law is not built to protect the internet And it's going to take a long time before it is, sadly. The median age of someone in the Senate is 65 years old. The median age of someone in the House of Representatives is 58 years old. And 67% of all judges in the United States are over 40 years old. We saw how poorly they reacted to the interviews and like clearly how little comprehension they had of TikTok as a platform when they were doing the interview with the CEO of TikTok.
And how do you connect to the internet?
Exactly.
It was
like they don't even understand Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
It's going to take them so long to, like, they would be like, what is a Sniperwolf?
What is a Sniperwolf?
Why are there 3 S's? And like they, you know what I mean? Like they will not understand. And it's going to take a long time before, you know, our generation is in their 60s.
Yeah.
To where these people are like in, and hopefully the median age of people in positions of political power gets younger over time. But it's going to take a while. So number 3, I also wanted to highlight is technically your content isn't really copyrighted. You're posting it to the world and to the masses, and having to file a copyright for every video, no matter what size of the creator you are, is unrealistic.
Yeah.
Like people post multiple TikToks a day. It would take them, the majority of their work would be spent as filing copyright claims. Like it's not a realistic solution. And this is when I think platforms again need to man up about having more regulation for content theft and penalizing accounts that do it.
Yeah. My rule of thumb is if YouTube featured someone as a featured creator, then they cannot turn a blind eye when they get called out for doing something unethical.
Seriously. This brings me to my last point is platforms don't have your best interest in mind. They have their best money in mind.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, what is best for the creator is what's best for the platform because creators make the platform money. Oftentimes, it seems like platforms have the best interests of their creators in mind because they're highlighting them or celebrating them or putting them on events or giving them monetization opportunities. But they're doing those things because they also get money.
Yeah.
And even if 90% of the time those interests of a creator, interests of a platform are aligned, you need to, as a consumer, be able to look objectively and say, maybe this is one of those 10, 20% of times where the interests are deviated and this is YouTube turning a blind eye to make money over something.
Yeah.
Because they want to make money over something, not because it's actually ethical.
Yeah. Like, I don't think any platform is inherently bad. In fact, I think they're often, at least in meetings we've had, they're always trying to figure out how to do better.
I agree.
But when things do go wrong, I think them being able to have they love taking credit when they do these great diversity quotas and they do these great, they do a pride event every year and they love taking credit for that, as they should. That's awesome. But then the moment something bad happens on their platform, they're like, we're just babies.
Well, that's what the creator posted that video.
Yeah, we didn't know.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly. Exactly.
Where's the press release for this one? You know?
Yeah. So my 2 cents at the end of this is like, I think it is up to you to formulate your own opinions on how you feel about React content and how you feel about React creators. My goal of this was to present you with information that is in line with the law.
Okay.
Like, this is how the law perceives it. And how I perceive it is that it's not okay. Like, to me specifically, I think that it is, if it's a possibility for it to be not okay, it's best just not to do it.
Yeah.
That's really how I feel.
And there's no right or wrong answer other than like just wanting to protect everyone. But like, there's always going to be gray area.